not the values that I share. And for the record, Republicans did not cause this shutdown. And we've
Bitch,
not been
please.
on vacation. I've been splitting my time between.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever part of the day if you choose to reach you. Hope you're feeling well. I hope you're feeling fine. Hope you're feeling blessed. Hope you realize that you are blessed. Swatch, as Congress supposedly reopens the government. We want to just sit down and watch the process. We got Rep. Michelle Fischbach, who's on the subcommittee on the Rules and Organization of the House from Minnesota.
And now it's the Democrats
just talking crazy.
Continue to shift the blame. Now, getting back to the issue at hand, let's talk about what this bill actually does. H.R. 5371 restores the funding for SNAP and WIC. It reimburses the contingency reserve to make sure that programs remain stable and reliable. Actually, President Trump moved $300 million of tariff revenue to fund WIC during the shutdown. Republicans are the
tariff revenues come from y'all, just to be sure, be clear. The tariff revenue she talked about came from directly from us. So
it supports our troops and federal workers. It ensures our service members and their families have the support they need, and it honors the promises we have made to those who have served. And yes, it reopens the government, restores stability, and resumes regular order. So let's be honest about what a yes vote means. A yes vote is a vote for veterans care. A yes vote is a vote for SNAP and WIC. A yes vote is a vote for $700,000 a fire engine in Ranking Member McGovern's district, and $1 million for the Navajo Nation Community Development Division in Representative Ledger Fernandez's district. A yes vote is for farmers. A yes vote is for troops.
How does it benefit farmers, though? She didn't say that.
Yes, it is for reopening the government. And a no vote? Well, that's a vote against all of that, including the development of a wastewater treatment facility in Mr. DeGoose's district, and $1.5 million in watershed conservation in Representative Clark's district.
Well, now they care about these types of things, but then all types of cuts have occurred.
Against feeding hungry children, and it's a vote against common sense. Mr. Speaker, with that, I yield back the balance of my time, and I move the previous question.
Question is on order. The previous question on the resolution. Those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. Opinion of the chair, the ayes have it.
Mr. Speaker,
Gentleman from Massachusetts.
Hearing aid, I think. I asked for the yeas and nays.
Yeas and nays are requested. Those favoring a vote by the yeas and nays will rise. Sufficient number having risen, the yeas and nays are ordered. Members will record their votes by electronic device. Pursuant to Clause 9 of Rule 20, the chair will reduce to 5 minutes, the minimum time for any electronic vote on the question of adoption of the resolution. This is a 15-minute vote.
All right, so now the process of voting begins.
And members holding the first vote in the House in nearly 2 months. This is a procedure.
On order,
approved. It starts
the previous
a
question.
Votes needed to eventually reopen the government, which has been shut down for a record 43 days.
So as we can see on the screen, they're doing a live count.
Debate rules, and if agreed to, members will have about an
So far, 12 Republicans, 13 Republicans said yes, 21 Democrats said no.
Funding for 2.5 months until January 30th was passed by the Senate on Monday after 7 Democrats and 1 independent senator broke with their party, which was holding out over expiring health care subsidies. If passed by the House and signed by President.
All right, let's see. So far, we got 32 nays and 18 yays.
The FDA.
Will the government reopen? Oh boy.
Also, federal employees laid off during the shutdown will be rehired, and essential furloughed workers would receive back pay dating to October 1st when the shutdown began. The measure also guarantees a vote would be held by mid-December on a bill to extend expiring healthcare tax credits. We also heard from Congressman John Rose of Tennessee on the floor a short time ago. He discussed a provision in the Senate bill to reopen the government that would allow senators whose phones had been searched by DOJ officials in relation to the January 6 riots to sue the government over those searches. News outlets reported House Speaker Mike Johnson was unaware of the provision, but that he would be introducing standalone legislation to repeal it next week. We also heard from House Democrats today. They held a press conference on the steps of the Capitol and will show their remarks as members vote here on the floor.
All right, so they got 13 more minutes before we'll find out whether or not the government is reopened or not. Right now, we got House Democrats on day 43 of the government shutdown, right on Capitol Hill, talking some shit. Let's see what Hakeem Jeffries got to say.
And the House Democratic Caucus. House Democrats are here on the Capitol steps to reiterate our strong opposition to this spending bill because it fails to address the Republican health care crisis and it fails to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credit. House Democrats will continue to support our men and women in uniform. We will continue to support hardworking federal employees. We will continue to support our law enforcement personnel. House Democrats will continue to support our air traffic controllers. We will continue to support our TSA agents. We will continue to support our civil servants who have been under attack since day one of the Trump administration. But we cannot support the Republican effort to gut the health care of the American people. Today, House Democrats will introduce legislation to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits for 3 years to make sure that tens of millions of Americans don't experience dramatically increased premiums, co-pays, and
listen, a lot of people are full of shit. And a lot of people, let me just back up a little bit. A lot of people are not going to agree with the Democrats' tactic right now. But when you know that their hands are basically tied and opportunities to show any type of pushback are limited, this is about all they can do. Damn. Where's my mouse pad? Trump is beholden. Pathetic. Trump is a shot. Well, I have no idea what that is, but okay. I'm guessing Glockwork Orange, you one of those people that feel like both sides are just bad.
And our message to the American people is no matter what happens.
The thing I will say, the reason why I can't agree with this statement right here, everybody's full of shit, is that
House Democrats will continue to fight to make
not Zoran.
will continue the fight to address the Republican healthcare crisis.
Mahdi, damn, I forgot his last name. But Mahdi basically held Charlamagne and God to task about this. Because when we say that both sides of everybody's full of shit, we are giving a pass to one side to just act like bitches and hoes and just be just fucked up. Oh, everybody full of shit. Well, what did the Democrats do? They just didn't fight hard enough. They ain't got no leverage. This is all they can do. They're outnumbered. Republicans run Congress, the fucking presidency. They got both sides of Congress. Like, they got the majority. They passed bullshit resolutions and reconciliation shit to get, like, the matter of fact, the whole reason Donald Trump is moving like this is because Republicans passed a bullshit vote to give him all these powers, and Democrats have been fighting it ever since. Like, but it baffles me when I keep hearing people, oh man, all of them. No, not all of them. You got to start calling a spade a spade. Because we'll call out a motherfucker in the hood, but oh, that nigga full of shit. But when it comes to this big politics where we be like, man, everybody, it's like, no, we got to call a spade, man. We got to call a spade a spade. This ain't Glock with 5 man. What? I have no idea what the fuck that is, but okay. You gotta read. You gotta really think about that. Fight hard enough, because this is fighting. This is fighting right here. And a lot of people are pissed off. And you gotta understand. I'm not understand. Think back to what I said. When you don't have leverage, what can you do? When you try to put policies and things in place that are gonna help the people, and they don't vote for them, what can you do? We seen that shit happen in Broward County. We seen the voters of Broward County vote to raise their own fucking taxes, and Democrats was screaming left and right, "Don't pass this resolution. It's gonna increase your taxes." And then what we see, the voters of Broward County voted to increase their taxes. And Democrats like, nah, bro, y'all gotta stop. Don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. So when we talk about fight hard enough, I think a lot of people are getting to this thing of seeing Trumpism and Republicans be just wild and crazy and say wild and just do bullshit. And they expect that that's how everybody's supposed to act. And that's not the norm. These Republicans that we're seeing right now, they are not the George Bush Republicans that we're used to. They are not the Ronald Reagan Republicans that we used to. No, these motherfuckers are different. And when they do all that extreme wild lying shit, people are, oh man, see, they said some wild shit. Like, man, these people are telling y'all the truth, but people will gravitate more towards the spicy bullshit than the mundane and boring truth. That's where we're at. And in an emotionally charged society, when you say all that wild and crazy shit as the GOP is saying, you're going to get people on your side. And when you say stuff like this, they don't get behind this right here because he's speaking real and regular calm shit. He honestly sound like he's preaching. But when you get out there, people get behind that. But when you talking calm and regular and direct and straightforward to these individuals, people don't want to hear this type of shit. Any man talk calm and actually telling you stuff. Notice he's giving you concrete, tangible shit. And just an update. Just an update. We're at 110 days and 86 days to reopen the government, and they got 5 minutes and 43 seconds left in this particular vote. So let's see, will the government reopen today? I forgot where we are. I'm sorry, chat. Let's get back to the chat. What the chat saying? Everyone is getting more tribal. We have a massive vacuum coming up, and it's got to get spicy. He said he got to piss. He'll be right back, but I'm gonna still touch on it. I don't think we got a vacuum coming up. I think we're gonna have a massive blue wave that takes over the country because of. Am I not one of the little things off?
Because Republicans let the ACA tax credits expire, Stephen and his wife are facing a monthly healthcare premium increase of $1,000 per month in 2026.
And this is what they're fighting for. The main thing.
To nearly $2,100 per month.
You got people health insurance premium that are literally about to skyrocket. Now, for those of you that don't have health insurance and you rely on the urgent care and the emergency room for your health needs, this impacts you too, because your bills are going to increase. You don't pay that bill no way. When y'all go to the emergency, half y'all don't pay that bill no damn way, and I end up having to pay higher fucking taxes because of it. But for those of us that do have health insurance, you got a situation where one action that, granted, I don't get Medicaid and all that other shit, but I do understand that the doctors that I go to treat patients that go there. I understand that the hospitals that I've been admitted to do treat patients that go there. And when those patients are not going there anymore, the people that do go there, they're going to see an increase. So when they tell you, oh, that don't impact you, ain't got nothing to do with you. Yeah, you don't have a direct impact. You have an indirect impact. So we got to always understand that shit is intertwined. You know, there are less than 12 degrees of separation between anything. I only like to throw 12 degrees separation out there, but man, it ain't that many degrees of separation between anything in this world. A lot of this shit is intertwined. Update: 130 nays and 118 yays to reopen the government. They got 2 minutes and 56 seconds left to go on day 43 of the government shutdown.
Next year, an impossible sum for people on the edge of retirement.
You gotta. I'm glad I got the art of war up here, because
retirement income. We say that again.
there are some tactics inside of Sun Tzu. That's the real name of art of war, for those that don't know,
They're facing devastating choices
that we're seeing on display right
between
now
visits
by the
and
Democrats.
mortgage, between cancer screening,
I just thought about that. Like, just looked at the book and I thought about like two tactics that we're seeing right now.
or even, frankly, to get insurance at all. They told me, and this is a direct quote, they are strongly considering going without coverage and taking their chances rather than continuing. Because here's the reality. They actually can't pay that premium. I came to Congress.
Yeah, some people, that's the other thing that's not talked about.
Like them.
Some of these people are not going to be able to afford these premiums.
One easy critical step is simply
These premiums that we're seeing and talking about are well, first of all, a part of the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare as it's called, was giving tax credits giving credits to basically make health insurance affordable. The reason behind that is because Obama was faced with a dilemma. Obama has either A, put a shit ton of much more money into the Medicaid and Medicare system to cover uninsured people, the hospital situations that come about with uninsured people, or try and put something together to where the onus of having insurance is on the people themselves. Hence Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. We're going to put out these subsidies that make getting insurance affordable to you, the average everyday consumer, so that me, the government, won't have to put more money into the Medicaid and Medicare pot to cover uninsured motherfuckers when y'all go to the hospital. Because when y'all go to the hospital now, you'll have an insurance card to hand the hospital and they'll bill you and your insurance instead of government having to pay more. That was the only reason the Affordable Care Act came about. Now we had a situation where in the big beautiful bill, Republicans chose not to include or extend those subsidies. And as of today, well, what's it, November? Like last month, because of the first of the year, you're going to see people's premiums skyrocket. But before that can happen, they send out these letters saying, hey, on this date, your premium is going to skyrocket. So that started happening last month. So now the Democrats are having a lot more pressure put on them by their constituents. Like, hey, like they're saying right now, they got people that are paying we're paying $300 a month for insurance, which I still think is kind of high. And now they're going to have to pay like $1,600 or more for their insurance, on top of high grocery prices, high gas prices, high cost of living prices, high everything right now in America. So Republicans refusing to include those subsidies in the big beautiful bill, as they like to call it, is the whole reason why we're in the situation now. And what Democrats are saying is like, hey, put those subsidies back and we'll play ball with you. Republicans are saying, hey, just, say yes to reopening the government, and then we'll go ahead and talk about it later. Acting on good faith, the Democrats have done this before. But now they're like, no, we know what the hell y'all do. Like, y'all are known for lying. Y'all are known for looking a person dead in their eye and lying to their face. And if you think I'm lying, ask any Cuban or Latin American in South Florida. All of them motherfuckers right now are mad as fuck because they sitting there, all right, well, but Donald Trump, and now they people getting deported left and right. And they got the president of the Latin American Civic Association on Channel 7 News about crying. They lied to us. No, you didn't listen, motherfucker. They told y'all they were gonna do this shit. but you ain't listen. But the party that's known for bait and switching, they basically want the Democrats to say, hey, we'll reopen the government and then we'll talk about this and subsidies and all that stuff later. Never mind SNAP. This whole situation about SNAP is just crazy in itself. We're putting so much focus on funding SNAP right now that not enough focus is being put on the new requirements that are put out there that went active on November 1st. So whenever the government reopens and SNAP gets the back rolling, we're going to see a lot of motherfuckers get kicked off of SNAP. That's the spoken about part. And just a quick update: there is no more time left in House Resolution 873 to reopen the government. Failed. 179 to 186. We had wait a minute. They got some overtime going. Let's go. Let's see. Because the time is out, so they're now going to tally up some more. Hold on. 183 to 187. 183 to 189. Hold on. It's close, y'all. It's close. It's 60 votes out there, 59 votes left. 184 to 190. Will the government reopen on this first ballot? You got 58 votes left. They're gonna damn the time if they're gonna tally up the votes. They're gonna let these motherfuckers be tallied. But it's close. 50 votes, 49, 48, 190, 195. Yes to no. And 48 votes left. Oh, 45 left and 190, 197. Oh shit now. I feel like an auctioneer right now, looking at these damn numbers right now. I have 41 votes left to 193. Oh shit, 200 nays to 193 yes. It's only 40 votes left. What these 40 votes gonna do? Oh, man. Can we talk about one moment like how the Republican Party has been hijacked and redefined? These motherfuckers ain't the same George Bush Republicans that I'm used to when I grew up. These ain't the George Bushes. It ain't Ronald Reagans. These are some new age. I don't understand. I don't know these. I don't know what's going on nowadays, but there's a rift in the Republican Party that nobody wants to talk about. And I've been looking at it for a while because all of the Trump shooters were Republican. Every last one of them that took a shot at him was a Republican. A Republican killed Charlie Kirk. Like, what the fuck? What else has to happen for America to wake up and realize that the Republican Party that we're looking at today got hijacked and it's not the Republican Party of what we grew up with? And I was born in 84, so I grew up in that Reagan era shit. So I've seen some shady and slimy Republican shit. I didn't live through Watergate, but I've seen the crack era. But this Republican shit that we're dealing with now, man, give me the crack era. Give me Watergate. Don't give me these racist bum fucks and all that shit. And I know some of y'all will be like, oh, I'd rather them be in my face and I know who racist and I don't know who racist. No, you don't. You've not dealt with real racism in your face. You don't want to deal with that. Not to your face. You say you want to know who's the racist? Y'all be butthurt when somebody don't respond to your DM. Y'all be mad as fuck when somebody try you on social media. Can you imagine how you would respond when somebody calls you the N-word and say they'll kill you and then spit in your face? So think twice before you talk about, oh, I'd rather know who they are. Yeah, it sounds good. But it's a reason why the motherfuckers are clandestine now. One is for safety. And two, They're not stupid. Fuck. Let's look at. Oh, we got 13 votes left. 208 to 212. Will the government reopen? We got a 4-vote difference. 209 and 212 with 12 votes left. So there, with these 12 votes left, they could reopen. But the other thing I want to talk about before they reopen the government is that even though we're seeing this fight go down right now, keep in mind that this only funds the government through January. So literally about 60 days, this funds the government. What it does also do is it protects SNAP and the other social services, so that when this happens again, because they're gonna shut the government down again. Trust and believe, the Democrats are not soft as y'all think they are. And if you really think about this, what they did was set it up to where if the Republicans don't keep their word and revisit these subsidies for Obamacare before January, they're gonna shut the government down again. But this time, they got protections for SNAP and the social services programs, so they'll keep getting funded. And they got back a whole bunch of people that got fired, and they got protections for furloughed workers. They basically set the stage for January when they shut the government down again and play hardball with Trump and the Republican Party. The Republican Party can sit there and try and frame this as a Democratic shutdown. But when you have the majority, you cannot blame the minority for anything. That's just what it is. This was and is a Republican shutdown. Oh, they tied 213 with 7 votes left. This right here on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, is why next November is going to be crucial. When you see that Republicans only have, I think it's like a 3-person majority. Hold on.
Opposed, no. Premier Chair, the ayes have it.
Mr. Speaker, as for recorded vote.
Recorded vote is requested. Those favoring a recorded vote will rise. Station number having risen.
They gonna keep their ass there all night. Oh shit. Yeah, it's about an hour worth of debate before the vote on funding later. They gonna keep them here all fucking night doing this shit. Will I stay on stream all night? I don't know. Maybe so. But it's 6:17, and I had ate dinner, and I had started watching C-SPAN. I'm like, let me see what they talking about here. And so I decided to go live. So y'all can sit here with me and we watch this shit live. At least Grivala got sworn in. This lady right here has been waiting to get sworn in for months, y'all. The problem now is that she's going to force the Epstein list to get released. Republicans had been able to kind of finagle and finesse votes in the way, but now she and she's already said she's going to push for the release of the Epstein files. Speaking of Epstein, y'all seen the news today? They say that Trump is all through the Epstein emails. And people say that, man, Epstein would talk about Trump left and right. Hey, man, Trump this, Trump that, Trump that. Say Trump knew about the little girls. Trump would spend hours with the young ladies. That's just disgusting, though. Just think about how young these young ladies was and these old, creepy, nasty ass fucking perverts just touching on them. And they thought nothing was wrong with that. Side note, Trump's wife, current wife, was on one of those mail order bride sites. You literally could buy Melania back in the day. I think that's how they met. This man bought a trick into the White House. God damn. Oh, man. Oh, go ahead.
En representar a Arizona en el Congreso y les aseguro que aunque soy la primera, no será la última.
She did that just to piss Mac off.
Our American promise is under serious threat. Basic freedoms are under attack.
Yes, they are.
Premiums are skyrocketing. Babies are being ripped away from their parents by mass agents. We can and must do better. What is most concerning is not what this administration has done, but what the majority in this body has failed to do. Hold Trump accountable as a co-equal branch of government that we are. It has been 50 days since the people of Arizona's 7th Congressional District elected me to represent them. 50 days that over 800,000 Arizonans have been left without access to the basic services that every constituent deserves. This is an abuse of power. One individual should not be able to unilaterally obstruct the swearing in of a duly elected member of Congress for political reasons. Our democracy only works when everyone has a voice. This includes the millions of people across the country who have experienced violence and exploitation, including Liz Stein and Jessica Michaels, both survivors of Jeffrey Epstein's abuse. They are here in the gallery with us this evening.
Ooh, she got the Epstein survivors with her. Ooh, she finna get that Epstein list released. Pressure. That's pressure right there. She bought the Epstein accusers in the fucking chambers. Ooh.
House Democrats released more emails showing that Trump knew more about Epstein's abuses than he previously acknowledged. It's past time for Congress to restore its role as a check and balance on this administration and fight for we, the American people.
Ooh, we're gonna get the Epstein list, y'all. She gonna give us the Epstein list. Watch.
For our immigrant communities and veterans, we need to stand up for our public schools, children, and educators. We need to respect tribal sovereignty in our environment. We need to stand up for LGBTQ+ rights because that's what the American people
Don't give a fuck about all that shit. I believe in live and let live. No gay shit ever impacted my life, so I don't give a damn about it. I really don't.
Right now to release the Epstein files.
What did you just say? Did she just say she'll sign the discharge petition to release the Epstein files? They are mad. What did you just say, white man? I don't even pay attention. I think it passed. All right, so now we're gonna have a long ass fucking debate, and they're gonna go back and forth. What happens in these type of proceedings? I know a lot of times y'all see this type of scene on C-SPAN or CNN or whatever. Y'all think, oh, they just around, they're just talking the bullshit. Da, 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 da. This is when deals are made. This is when, you know, they look like they're giving pleasantries, but this is when motherfuckers are running up on motherfuckers like, hey. And if you look carefully, you can catch. Look, here goes Speaker Mike Johnson having a little. They don't look like they talking like nothing serious, but look, his assistant is doing some work. They're trying to both make sure nobody's watching their mouth. As they say what they say, because Mike Johnson here, I don't know who the fuck that is, but they trying to, they're trying to work some shit out. Let's see if we catch some more motherfuckers trying to hustle up some shit. Oh, look. He's trying to persuade them. This is what happens in these chambers. A bunch of this. He over all that shit. There's some procedural shit going on up here. There's some procedural stuff that got to be, the T's and got to be crossed and the I's got to be dotted. So the procedural stuff goes on up here. But these motherfuckers are trying to make some moves and do some shaking. Hey, I need you to vote this. I need you to vote this way. I need you to vote that way. There are not just Republicans and Democrats in there. There are some independents. Those independents, they can go either way. So it's these types of situations like this, these times like this, excuse me, where they'll sit there and try and pull that last minute vote out of somewhere. So next we got the debate on reopening the government. What's on C-SPAN too? Chevron doctrine, on the other hand, requires courts to defer to federal agencies to interpret unclear laws.
And solve delegation problems through that doctrine instead. If it's doing the work of a semantic or linguistic canon, why do we need that on top of textualism or kind of ordinary tools of statute?
I'm glad I turned to this. Give me an opportunity to talk about something, because if you can't see on the screen, the words in the background say the Heritage Foundation, and the Heritage Foundation are the individuals that bought us Project 2020. What you're seeing here, what her saying is she's splitting hairs and trying to examine the Chevron doctrine. And for those that don't know, the Chevron doctrine basically says that corporations have to defer to government agencies to define unclear laws whenever there's a conflict. So basically, corporations can't bring its own understanding of a law to court and say, hey, this is what we thought it was, and this is why we move like this. You got to go with the government's definition. The Heritage Foundation is muddying the waters of the court system, specifically by using old and arcane laws and just clauses that haven't been enacted in hundreds of years. They're literally going and blowing off laws and trying to say, hey, with this act, you could do this. That's how Trump is blowing up all these fucking boats in Venezuela under the guise of, we're a domestic issue. That's how the tariffs are being acted. They're relying on old ass clause that says the president can do certain things if we're under attack. And they're saying, we have an economic imbalance. Like, the courts right now are just fucked up.
Maybe the court could have just done that in the beginning. They certainly could have done that in
The thing that I will say about the Heritage Foundation
of course,
is they all got a look.
just like
They're all old and white.
I mean, we have the personification
So when you're looking at some old ass white people talking about heritage, what heritage are they really talking about? Like, ask yourself that. I don't want to watch this shit no more.
they make things up and it becomes the doctrine of whoever made it up.
See how they were saying, oh, it becomes the doctrine of whoever made it up.
Great question that can be answered from a witness in a yes or no manner, and that's it. And even that, believe it or not, can set off disagree, right? But you still.
Let's see if they're going back to. Come on, man. There we go.
Be in order and members will clear the well. For what purpose does the gentleman from Illinois seek recognition? Mr. Speaker, pursuant to House Resolution. Will the gentleman repeat his request at microphone? Will the gentleman find the microphone and repeat his request? Mr. Speaker, I would like to ask unanimous consent to address the body. Well, I'm recognized for that purpose. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to say I'd like to thank the Honorable. The House will be in order. The well will be cleared. All members will clear the well.
I'm telling them to sit the fuck down.
For what purpose does the gentleman from Oklahoma seek recognition?
Well, the bill HR 5371, the continuing appropriations, agriculture, legislative branch, military construction, and Veterans Affairs and Extension Act 2026 with the Senate amendment thereto, and I have a motion at the desk.
The clerk will report the title of the bill, designate the Senate amendment, and designate the motion.
HR 5371, an act making continuing appropriations and extensions for fiscal year 2026 and for other purposes. Senate amendment. Mr. Cole of Oklahoma moves that the House concur in the Senate amendment to HR 5371.
Pursuant to House Resolution 873, the motion shall be debatable for 1 hour, equally divided and controlled by the chair and ranking minority member of the Committee on Appropriations or their respective designees. The gentleman.
So we're about to have a debate for about an hour on the merits of why they should or should not reopen the government. Order, I say. Order, I say. He old ass white man. For life of me, I cannot understand how I keep hearing all these black men. And it ain't just since I've been adult. I've been hearing this my whole damn life. I've been hearing black men say my entire fucking life, why we always gotta let the system be ran by these old white men. And then when we see black people run for offices, black men don't even be supporting them. And then you hear again, why are we letting all these old white men run the system? All the old white men that are like, where's the black representation? When you gonna start supporting the black representation, black men? I don't want to hear no more black men tell me about we allow all these old ass white men to run the system, and y'all don't even be supporting the black people that be up there. 25% of black men, whatever it is, 20-something% of black men voted for Trump. Puss ass niggas.
Inflicted on the nation. For 6 long weeks, Americans have paid the
Look at this.
shutdown.
They funded agriculture, the VA department, the FDA, military construction projects, as well as the operations of Congress through September 30th, 2027. Federal laid off employees during the shutdown will be rehired. Both essential and furloughed federal workers will receive back pay dating to October 1st, the day the shutdown began. They are setting the stage for January for them to dig their fucking heels in and be like, nope, I don't give a fuck what y'all say. We got SNAP and our federal workers that they got paid. Now, some of them might not be with the job again, but they are shoring up and setting the stage for a January shutdown. That is for sure.
It pays federal workers. It fully funds SNAP benefits until September 30th of next year. It compensates our air traffic controllers right before a busy holiday season. In fact, it takes a holistic approach in ensuring federal services and programs are operational. In the simplest terms, we're putting the government back to work for our people. The bill is fundamentally the same responsible approach House Republicans offered on September 19th, but with an important addition: 3 full-year appropriations bills for FY26. These bipartisan, bicameral full-year appropriations bills cover the military, construction, and veterans affairs, legislative branch, and agricultural, rural development, and food and drug administration divisions. Once passed, we will have full-year funding in place for many of our most crucial programs. Military construction needs will be met for a full year, as will medical programs for our nation's veterans. The legislative branch will be properly resourced, including critical funding enhancements for the Capitol Police and for member security. And agriculture, food, and nutrition programs like WIC and SNAP will be fully funded to help vulnerable people in need. Importantly, this legislation delivers member-driven community project funding in both the military construction and agricultural division, which will direct resources back in the hands of the communities we represent.
I don't know if y'all thought this shit was gonna be exciting. It ain't. This is why a lot of people don't be really tuned into politics, and y'all listen to the crazy wild shit that's a 30-second clip, because you don't want to sit down and look at C-SPAN and listen to all this boring shit and hear this old ass white man read the whole goddamn bill out. Y'all listen to a motherfucker tell you, oh my god, they're gonna do this, and click 1,000 likes on that shit. But you won't spend an hour out your day watching this type of shit. No, y'all didn't, motherfucker.
This Article 1 advancement is an accomplishment that every member of this chamber can be proud of, regardless of party. Yet some still need to decide what they stand for today. So to my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, do you want the leverage or do you want to legislate?
You heard what he said? You want the leverage or do you want to legislate? He just recognized that the Democrats, even though they're the minority, they hold the leverage in this situation. So when we talk about fighting and being tough and being hard, we gotta really examine what that looks like and what the Democrats fighting when they are the minority is going to look like and what they can do to fight. I'm telling you right now, as looking at this resolution and hearing everything they're saying, they're really setting the stage to shut this bitch down in January. They really setting the stage, because it was the SNAP situation that really tipped the scales. I know it sucks to say this, but they really weren't gonna be up in arms. They weren't really hurt by the federal workers not being paid, because they understand that the federal workers are going to get their money. It was the SNAP situation that started to make shit a little, but now that's shored up. So January come around, mark my words, we will see these motherfuckers shut the government down again, and it might be for longer than 42 days.
You can understand
2/3 of American workers are living paycheck to paycheck. Think about that. 1/3 of America is straight. I literally see people that make $100K a year talk about the struggle and how fucked up it is. But then I also see people that I know that will make $100K a year talk about how they balling this, that, and other, and this don't impact them. This, that. Somebody fucking lying. You broke motherfuckers that's living the high life can't tell me shit. Just be real. Like, I know it's fucked up out here. I ain't one of them people that sit here trying to put on a charade like I'm balling and I got this. I live a very intentional life. These motherfuckers be sitting there trying to act all rich. You play rich all you want, motherfucker. I ain't rich. I still work. I still be getting it. Shit.
Compounding the cost of living crisis. More than 2 million Americans are expected to lose their health insurance next year because it has simply become too expensive. There are more than 50 pages of healthcare provisions in this bill. Not one of them stops costs from skyrocketing at the beginning of next year. Not one of them offers relief to American families being squeezed tighter and tighter by the Republican crisis. There is one group of people, however, who will receive some relief thanks to this bill.
Listen to this
United
shit.
States senators who may have participated in an insurrection snuck into this bill at the 11th hour by Senate Republicans is a provision to pay out at least $1 million each to 8 United States senators implicated in the January 6th insurrection. Understand, this is
$1 million each, $8 million, because they was investigated. They got a provision in this resolution right here that would allow the motherfuckers that got investigated for January 6th to sue the government for $1 million. Think about that.
This bill excludes a provision that will order a plaque to be hung that honors the police officers who put their lives on the line to defend our democracy from that same insurrection. What a contrast. It is yet another instance.
The Republicans are trying to make it seem as if January 6th never happened.
While there is $230 million for the president to pay himself from the Department of Justice, $8 million for some of his closest Senate allies, $200 million for a pair of private jets for the Department of Homeland Security Secretary, $40 billion to Argentina. The American people are left with nothing.
Think about everything she just said. That's money that is going out. And they say we ain't got money for subsidies for the average American. We ain't got money for SNAP. We ain't got money for just basic shit. We ain't got money for American road infrastructure. We ain't got money for all this essential American shit. But we got American money that we're gonna send to Argentina.
With veterans and then vote against their health care. Those who lead in the appropriations process here believe in the constitutional power of the purse. And over the past Trump has been firing federal workers en masse. And when his administration has failed, they have made life so miserable for federal workers that they had no choice but to leave. Federal workers should be, and I quote, dramatically affected. Those are the words of the Office of Management and Budget Director, Gus Vogt, an unelected bureaucrat. The federal workforce has dwindled by 200,000 since January, jeopardizing the public services that so many people rely on. Spare us your false concern. And since January, this administration has been stealing from our communities, withholding as much as $410 billion in funding approved by Democrats and Republicans, House, Senate, signed into law, and they are illegally blocking authorized funds from being distributed. Even now, as we debate this bill, the Trump administration is arguing to the Supreme Court that they should be allowed to withhold food stamp funding that Congress lawfully approved. They were ordered by 3 separate courts to distribute food assistance and are still fighting to withhold it. It is not connected to opening this government. They have the money. They have it now for food stamps. They just refuse to use it. Imagine using food as a political weapon, unspeakable and immoral.
Y'all still have chat?
Their only plan is to strip children of food assistance while kicking their parents off their health insurance. They have demonstrated that that is who they are. These are their true colors. You cannot expect Democrats to go along with any bipartisan funding deal if that agreement can be undone with a party line vote. Congress
That's what they listen now. Learn something now.
I encourage my colleagues to vote no, and I reserve the balance of my time.
The gentlelady who deserves, the gentleman from Oklahoma is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I yield one.
Let's just sit down and listen to what you motherfuckers got to say here.
Leader, the gentleman from Louisiana, Mr. Scalise.
The gentleman from Louisiana is recognized for 1 minute. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank my friend, the Chairman of the Appropriations, Mr. Cole from Oklahoma, for not only yielding, but for bringing this important bill to the floor. Our appropriators worked tirelessly to negotiate a multi-bill package that is part of this bill to reopen the government. And we never should have been here, Mr. Speaker. We tried as Republicans over a month ago to prevent a government shutdown. We had a vote here on the House floor. 99% of Republicans voted to keep the government open, and 99% of Democrats voted to shut it down. And then that bill went over to the Senate.
This
and we
motherfucker
watched
talking
for
crazy.
42 days, where time and time again, Democrats, just to appease their most radical base, continue to vote in unison to shut the government down. And during that shutdown, we saw millions of families experience pain, Mr. Speaker.
Notice how they're going to keep trying to pull emotions out of y'all.
Democrats themselves acknowledged that they imposed on the American people. But they said over and over again, we have quote after quote from Democrats during the shutdown, that they needed to impose the suffering to get leverage, Mr. Speaker, to use the American people as pawns to get leverage. For what? For what? They ultimately filed an alternative bill. $1 trillion.
Another motherfucker had admitted the Democrats got the leverage in the situation now.
That included things like
Keep in mind, this is how they fight.
taxpayer funding for illegals to get taxpayer benefits, while they gutted the $50 billion rural health care fund that we put in place in the Working Families Tax Cut. So, Mr. Speaker, anybody who comes up here and says they care about health care, they were also advocating to gut the $50 billion rural health care fund to provide $200 billion in taxpayer-funded health care benefits for illegals. It's insanity.
Whoa!
And if you really
Taxpayer-funded insurance for illegals. Oh God!
Democrats want to talk about a healthcare crisis. The healthcare law of the land.
I'll tell y'all something. I work for the government. There's no fucking way that anybody that's illegal can get fucking emergency services. They might get some emergency services, but it has to be life or death. Like literally, they go into the emergency room and they about dying, and because doctors and nurses they take certain type of oath, they're gonna save their life. But that's it.
But if you want to talk about affordable, and maybe the only other bill that's more laughable in its name is the Inflation Reduction Act. Yeah, it's another product brought to you by Democrat-only votes. The Inflation Reduction Act, which ushered in the inflation under Joe Biden that we're still trying to shake today. But the Affordable Care
They
Act,
stay blaming Joe for every fucking thing, boy.
American
The Inflation Reduction Act brought America back.
increases
And we've seen inflation double because of Trump now.
Because of a Democrat-created bill. But they want to now blame on Republicans. I understand why they would want to try to now pawn that off on somebody else. But then if you look over time, during COVID, they created a temporary relief fund, not to individuals, Mr. Speaker, but to insurance companies. Democrats created a temporary, they called it temporary in the law, temporary COVID relief tax credit to insurance companies, to bail out big insurance companies who were seeing
COVID happened under Trump.
And that's now what they want Republicans to renew. A insurance company bailout that Democrats created to be temporary. They set it up to expire. And now they're saying that the world's going to end if that insurance company bailout doesn't get renewed. While at the same time, when we as Republicans work to actually lower premiums for families, they fought it every step of the way. That's right. We had a bill that we passed through this House just a few months ago.
You notice how none of his people in the background are like, yeah, we did that.
It was called the cost share reduction. Was scored by the CBO to lower premiums for families.
Not one Republican behind him.
Percent.
Body language say, yeah, we try to do all that.
By the way, every Democrat voted against that too, because they've never cared about lowering premiums. Then that bill gets over to Senate. Senate Democrats worked overtime to get that provision removed. And if you go look at Senate Democrat Budget Committee website, they still brag that they removed that provision that would have lowered premiums for families. So, absolutely, Republicans have worked and will continue, by the way, to work to lower premiums for families. But make no mistake, the high premiums that everybody faces today are a result of the inaptly named Affordable Care Act and many failures associated with it. But this bill today is about ending the misery Democrats created on families. That is just about funding the government, not about solving other problems that we should be working to solve, but about getting the government back open while not holding the American people hostage. And that, Mr. Speaker, is what has disgusted the American people most during the shutdown.
Shit me.
That should have never happened. But it's that it has caused real suffering for American families. Our men and women in uniform that had to wonder whether or not they're going to get paid. Air traffic controllers who already had a highly stressful job and then had to show up for work without getting paid.
Because you fuck bitches.
Now you're seeing, because a lot of those air traffic controllers have to go work jobs as Uber drivers.
They was already doing that, though.
They're able to show up for work because they still have bills due. Their rent's due. They're trying to put food on their table. And Democrats want to vote no tonight to keep denying them food. The 42 million SNAP recipients, those people that are low income that need those food benefits, if you vote no today, you are voting to deny those 42 million low income families basic food needs. Don't talk about how much you care about low income people and vote no.
Does this motherfucker look like you care?
To deny them food, basic services, basic things that American families need who shouldn't be part of the leverage Democrats want. To show their radical base that they're fighting.
This is what leverage looks like.
Because they're upset with the results of the election from November. It is time to end this madness, Mr. Speaker. Let's get this government back open. Let's go negotiate our differences, which are many. But let's do it while not continuing to hold the American people hostage.
Yeah, just open it up. We'll talk about it later. Shit.
Who have voted relentlessly to shut this government down and impose this suffering on the American people to stop. Stop imposing the suffering. Let's open the government. Let's get back to the work of the American people. I yield back to Alex. My time.
The gentleman from Louisiana yields back. Does the gentleman from Oklahoma reserve?
He had by 5 Republicans clap for him.
Gentleman reserves. The
Think about
gentleman
that.
From Connecticut is recognized.
I remind the majority leader that a 60-year-old couple earning $82,800 per year, annual premiums will rise by over $17,000, a 255% increase. It now gives me great pleasure to yield 3 minutes to the gentleman from Georgia, the distinguished ranking member of the Agricultural and Rural Development
Get 'em,
Subcommittee, Mr. Bishop.
Get 'em, Unc.
Georgia is recognized for 3 minutes.
Thank you, Ranking Member Doral. As Ranking Member of the Agriculture, Rural Development, and FDA Subcommittee, I rise to oppose this bill. Though it does represent, for the most part, solid bipartisan work to provide investments in agriculture in rural America, I am disappointed that the rest of it falls far short of the needs of most Americans. Healthcare providers and patients are frustrated and frightened by the imminent skyrocketing of healthcare costs caused by the loss of the ACA tax credits and cuts to Medicaid, Medicare, and life-saving biomedical research. My constituent, Angela Holmes, is unable to walk without debilitating pain. She's worried that without tax credits, she won't be able to afford health insurance to complete the multiple back surgeries she needs. For many Georgians, healthcare is a matter of life and death. Our Republican colleagues could have corrected this in the Rules Committee, but they rejected an amendment last night that would have lowered health premium costs. To me, that's unconscionable. So are the administration's actions during the shutdown. As a Christian, I'm outraged that USDA used the shutdown to illegally withhold SNAP from 42 million Americans. USDA had the chance to do the right thing and use designated contingency funds, but rejected it. And when ordered to do so by the courts, they fought all the way to the Supreme Court to keep hungry families from receiving food. America produces the highest quality, safest, most abundant.
See how they nodding behind them like, yep. Mm-hmm.
Food, fiber, and medicine anywhere in the world. To that end, this bill provides many welcome investments. It fully funds SNAP and WIC, replenishes the SNAP and WIC contingency funds, and fully funds cash value vouchers for fruits and vegetables for women and children. It also helps rural America by providing $1 billion in single-family direct home loans, $120 million over the house level, and funding water and wastewater programs at $446 million, both issues that Democrats tried to address in full committee. The bill provides $1.8 billion for the Agricultural Research Service, $1.6 billion for NIFA, protecting farmers, small businesses, and families against President Trump's budget request to eliminate land-grant university research and extension activities across the country. I'm pleased to see that the bill language
That fucks with FAMU. FAMU is a land-grant institution.
Canceling grants over $1 million. The agricultural portion of this bill does make positive steps in the right direction. The bill discards many of the harmful policy riders, which in the House bill, yet it does not go far enough to negate House language falsely questioning the safety of mifepristone and encouraging FDA to explore liability protections for certain infant formula manufacturers, over which the agency has absolutely no jurisdiction. And while the overall funding package may be open to the government for a month or two, this bill does not address the breach of trust this administration has demonstrated since January. They fail to follow the law, and we cannot trust that they will even execute this bill if we vote on it today.
That part.
Time has expired.
This shit make you realize just how long 3 minutes and a minute is.
They fail to follow the law, and we can't trust that they'll execute the law. They cut SNAP by 20%. The big ugly bill this summer, this mountainly funded federal programs, fired federal workers, and illegally ignored court orders. This bill fails to address the healthcare crisis, and the bipartisan outrage that erupted over language in the bill paying millions of dollars, taxpayer dollars, for a handful of senators whose phone records were subpoenaed in relation to the
Gotta take a little break real quick, y'all.
investigation. It's a bad bill.
Gentleman's time has expired. The gentleman yields back. Does the gentlelady from Connecticut reserve? The gentlelady reserves. The gentleman from Oklahoma is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I recognize my yield 2 minutes to my very good friend, distinguished gentleman from Texas, and distinguished chairman of the Military Construction and Veterans Subcommittee Appropriations.
Gentleman from Texas is recognized for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank my longtime friend, colleague, and the chairman of the Appropriations.
Bunch of old white men.
For you to be heard. I rise in support of HR 5371. We look forward to reopening.
Matter of fact, I'll be right back, chat.
The shutdown is going on long enough. It's time to end it. Yesterday was Veterans Day. It's a timely reminder of the commitment our armed forces personnel have made and the responsibility that we have to take care of those who serve our nation. Military construction and veteran affairs component of the legislation meets that goal. The legislation includes $133.3 billion for the Department of Veterans Affairs, including $113.8 billion for the discretionary funding for the VA medical care. It includes critical funding for Medicare medical health services, telehealth services, veterans homelessness programs, medical research programs, and rural health initiatives. It invests in information technology, including robust investments in VA electronic health record modernization. Fully funds all mandatory veterans benefits, including veterans disability compensation programs, education benefits, and vocational rehabilitation and employment training. Nearly $20 billion for the Department of Defense military construction programs. This amount funds nearly 300 projects and military bases around
Yield
the
the gentleman an additional 15 seconds, Mr. Speaker.
The gentleman has an additional 15 seconds.
It includes $3 billion to improve and maintain housing for service members, provides requested resources for the American Battle Monuments, Armed Forces Retirement Home, and Operation Volunteer Cemetery. I want to thank Mr. Cole for his endless work to get us to this point. And I urge my colleagues to join me in supporting the bill. And I yield back.
The gentleman yields back. This is the gentleman from Oklahoma Reserve. The gentleman reserves. The gentlelady from Connecticut is recognized.
Speaker, I yield 3 minutes to the gentlewoman from Florida, the distinguished ranking member of the Military Construction and Veterans Affairs Subcommittee, Ms. Wasserman Schultz.
The gentlelady from Florida is recognized for 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the gentlewoman for yielding. I rise to oppose this slush fund for senators' bill that will force healthcare costs to explode for millions of Americans. In fact, this legislation guarantees only 2 things. Republican senators suspected of helping Trump try to steal an election will get a whole lot richer, and life will get more expensive for everyone else. That's because this bill adds rocket fuel to Republicans' larger assault on Americans' access to quality, affordable health care. Remember, Mr. Speaker, Republicans already slashed $1 trillion from Medicaid, $500 billion from Medicare, and let Trump steal billions in medical research. But with this bill, Republicans dump massive healthcare price hikes on struggling Americans. Millions will be priced out of any coverage at all, which will drive coverage costs up and health services down for all of us. It's a health budget nightmare for America's families and a slush fund lottery win for 8 Republican senators. Because the one thing that we can all agree on, unless you're Jeffrey Epstein's best friend in the White House, is that the cost of living is out of control. Rent, home insurance, and electric bills are all soaring. The cost of beef, coffee, and vegetables just keep climbing. People are really struggling to get by. Yet Donald Trump continues to block SNAP benefits to 42 million struggling seniors, patients, and veterans. How anyone could swipe food from the plates of nearly 20 million children like that is simply disgusting, but that same moral bankruptcy is embedded in this bill. This bill unleashes huge health insurance hikes on 203,000 people in my district alone, and 82,000 people will lose coverage altogether due to the impact of the big ugly law and soaring ACA prices. Worse, this bill also reneges on our commitment to veterans. As the ranking member of the Military Construction and Veterans Affairs Appropriations Subcommittee, I take our promises to veterans personally and seriously. Just this summer, I secured bipartisan support for my amendment to restore $51.7 billion in advance funding for the Toxic Exposures Fund. This is funding, mind you, that President Trump sought in his budget. Yet as Republicans slipped a slush fund for senators into this bill, they gutted a critical funding protection for veterans. Just so we're all clear, average Americans will see their kitchen table budget blow up from the health coverage price hikes, and veterans will see their future healthcare funding for toxic exposures put in jeopardy. Also, billionaires can keep getting huge tax breaks. It's hard to pick between the worst moral outrages behind this bill. Was it covering up for Epstein's best friend for nearly 2 months just so Republicans could vacation and avoid negotiating a better healthcare plan for our struggling families? Or is it a slush fund that personally enriches Republican senators and will haunt everyone who votes for this bill. While House Democrats will oppose this partisan spending bill that guts America's health care, and will keep fighting to extend health care tax credits, Donald Trump and Republicans broke their promise to lower costs, and this bill certainly cements that betrayal. But Democrats will stand by our promise to lower costs, and we'll make sure every American knows Republicans are responsible for this devastating health care crisis. I yield back.
Hey, it's Dave Watson Schultz. The gentlelady from Connecticut reserves. The gentleman from Oklahoma is recognized. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I yield 2 minutes.
Sorry, chat. I had to go be a father real quick.
Dr. Harris of Maryland. Gentleman from Maryland is recognized for 2 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today in support of Senate amendment to H.R. 5371, which will finally put an end to the Democrat-led government shutdown. Millions of Americans have suffered because they refuse to reopen the government, harming those who depend on SNAP benefits, federal workers, Border Patrol agents, and our troops who are uncertain about their next paycheck. This legislation extends government funding to the end of January 2026, thereby blocking attempts to force a budget-busting omnibus at the last minute before Christmas. It also includes the FY 2026 Agriculture, Rural Development, and Food and Drug Administration Appropriations Act. Republicans have effectively locked in disciplined while supporting the Trump administration's policy priorities. The agriculture bill provides $26.65 billion in discretionary spending, which is level with the current amounts, while also including community project funding. This bill provides critical funding support to America's farmers, ranchers, and rural communities. It ensures that USDA and FDA can safeguard our nation's food and drug supply.
So I grab my iPad. I need to look up.
Including SNAP and WIC. Additionally, the bill closes the hemp loophole that has resulted in the spread of unregulated, intoxicating hemp-derived products that are being sold online and in gas stations and corner stores across the country. Many of these products are accessible and attractive.
They finna get rid of the vapes, y'all.
Thousands of calls to U.S.
That Delta 9 and all that other shit. That's what he talk about.
This provision is supported by 39 states' attorney general and over 81.
So there's provision in this to ban that Delta 9 and D, whatever, DTH, what all that bullshit y'all be buying at the gas station. They be selling.
But this is what responsible Republican government looks like. We stand with the Democrats' outrageous budget-busting demands and held the line for hardworking American taxpayers. I want to thank Appropriations Chairman Cole for his leadership. I strongly encourage my colleagues to support this legislation. Mr. Chair, I yield back time.
Gentleman from Maryland yields back. Does the gentleman from Oklahoma reserve? Gentleman reserves. The gentlelady from Connecticut is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I yield 3 minutes to the gentleman from New York, the distinguished ranking member of the Legislative Branch Subcommittee, Mr. Espaillat.
The gentleman from New York is recognized for 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today in strong opposition to the Senate's amendment to H.R. 5371 because it once again the Senate has put other interests ahead of those of the American people. Today's backroom deal does nothing to stop 20 million Americans that will see their health care premiums double or triple. And it does absolutely nothing to stop provisions in the reconciliation package that will strip 15 million people of the Medicaid coverage. These cuts will have a resounding impact for individuals and the healthcare industry and economy as a whole. Safety net hospitals like Montefiore in my district and federally funded clinics like Borinque in East Harlem face having to eliminate services or completely close. Families, seniors, and children who go to these hospitals cannot afford to lose health care coverage. On top of that, Mr. Speaker, the legislative branch bill, which was done unilaterally, not with the consultation of both sides, it was done on its own, in the Senate, in the dark, in cahoots with a bunch of people, includes a provision that will line the pockets of 8 senators that we know of by allowing them to sue the government for millions of dollars if the Department of Justice subpoenas their phone records or seeks a lawful
non-disclosure order. While families in my district are stretching every single dollar just to pay for food and rent, senators want a personal payout if law enforcement dares to hold them accountable. At every turn of this shutdown and fight for healthcare access, Republicans and the Trump administration have tried to inflict suffering as much as possible. For weeks, the administration held food stamps hostage. And even when some states comply with a court ruling to release full benefits, the president demanded that they be clawed back. Even when governors stepped up and said, we don't want people to go hungry, they ran to court, Mr. Speaker, to take $6.20 away from poor people. Who does that?
The Trump administration.
Who takes $6.20 away from a single mom or a hungry senior?
The Trump administration.
That's the state of America today. Unbelievable. And here we are to vote on this. I will be casting my vote as a no. In fact, it will be a hell no.
Oh. That boy said it'd be a hell no.
The gentleman from Oklahoma is.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I yield 2 minutes to my very good friend, distinguished gentlelady from Michigan, and chairman of the House Republican Conference, Ms. McClain.
Gentlelady from Michigan is recognized for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. God, I love the compassion and the passion on the other side of the aisle. You know, worried about taking money out of families. Well, you know what? Y'all can do the right thing and vote yes. If not, you're the ones that are taking money from needy families, not us, because yes means yes, we want to feed the families. We want to have SNAP programs. No means we don't fund those programs. See how simple that is? But keep on with the rhetoric. I mean, it's cute, but the American people don't buy it. So,
yes, they do.
I mean, listen, for the past 40 days, Democrats have inflicted needless pain on hardworking Americans. They stranded millions of travelers. They denied.
She's talking this shit as she's wearing a couple $1,000s on her neck.
When you vote no to continue funding, that means you deny food stamps for hungry families. No means no, you don't want to pay them. Yes, like the Republicans vote, that means yes.
And a
we
big
do.
ass rock on her
So,
damn head, man. This lady is iced out up here talking this crazy shit.
and for what, Mr. to use the American people as leverage. Don't take my word for it, take theirs. Leverage for more wasteful Washington spending. Spending that no one other than the radical left ever wanted. And to remind the American people, they wanted $1.5 trillion of their hard-earned tax.
Watch, she's gonna say it. Illegal immigrants.
In return, they got nothing.
She gonna talk about illegal immigrants. Watch.
To waste the American people's money. Not a dime for the radical climate change, not a dollar for tax-funded benefits for illegals, and not
Told
one
you.
single concession to the radical far left base. Millions of Americans whose lives were upended by the
She
Democratic shutdown.
this is the problem. Everything that she just said is the problem. There is no negotiation in them. They don't want to negotiate with the other side whatsoever. You know what I said? No concessions at all for the radical left.
We will restore regular order of the appropriations process. We will continue to fulfill the mandate of the American people, and we will keep delivering results for American people, because that's what we're here to do for, not to play politics. So with that, Mr. Speaker, I yield. Thank you.
Gentlelady from Michigan yields.
Don't worry, y'all.
gentleman
The vote to reopen the government is after this debate.
advised to direct their comments to the chair and not to engage in personalities. The gentlelady from Connecticut is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have the greatest honor really to yield time, 2 minutes time.
I appreciate him
from California.
reminding both parties to engage in somewhat of a civil debate and not go at each other. so to say, and make it about the issue at hand.
Because of Speaker Pelosi, and she's also Italian American. Thank you. I yield.
Oh, Nancy, the OG, triple OG woman of politics, white women politics, Nancy Pelosi. Says she's gonna hang it up after this little run right here. About time, Nancy. Sit your old ass down.
And not to your colleagues. So I can say to you, and perhaps you can tell them, either they don't know what they're talking about, or they don't care about meeting the needs of the American people.
Nancy be talking shit.
Did any one of them vote? Did any one of them vote to have eliminate need for pre-existing condition in healthcare? Not one of them. Did any one of them vote to say if your children get to be 26 until they're 26 years old, they have access to your policy? Not one.
Now, hold on, Nancy. I ain't with that one.
To eliminate, bring a woman as being a pre-existing medical condition. Not one of them. The list goes on and on.
Nah, I'm using some other shit. But that 26 shit, Nancy, you're stretching it.
Speaker, you can tell them was paid for. And then later, when we decided that we could extend the tax credits further so more people could have more access to care, did anyone vote for that? No. So they all they have done is try to eliminate access to health care in our country. The public is catching on to that.
Mm-hmm.
You might tell them if a woman is born with a child that has a heart condition, she's out of luck with what they are proposing. If a father gets a stroke, forget about it. If you have a sibling with a disability, they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
If your wife has breast cancer, you got big bills to pay because they want to take away health care, whether it's Medicaid to tens of millions of people, $500 billion for Medicare for seniors and people with disabilities, millions of dollars added to the cost for families for access to the Affordable Care Act. The list goes on and on. Either they don't know or they don't care. I'll say one more thing as a grandmother and mother. How about the President of the United States on Halloween night having a Halloween party? And saying to the Supreme Court, please don't make me feed the children or the poor people in our country. Going to the Supreme Court for that means cruelty is not even comes close to the word that is needed for that kind of behavior. The worst president for children America has ever seen. I yield back.
Nancy Pelosi just called Donald Trump the worst president for children that America has ever seen. That must have profound words.
From West Virginia, member of the Legislative Branch Subcommittee, the Committee of Appropriations, Mr. Moore. The gentleman from West Virginia is recognized for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to support the amendment to HR 53.
Sorry, I didn't see it over there. Zigo 985. Yo. Glad to have you on the stream. This motherfucker say in the Schumer shutdown. Oh, these motherfuckers.
The bill before us not only reopens the entire government, but ensures that the House and its supporting agencies remain working for the American people. The bill invests in safety and security. It increases funding for the Capitol Police, provides support for security programs through the House Sergeant at Arms, and is tough on foreign adversaries, including language I wrote, preventing the purchase of technology tied to the Chinese Communist Party. I want to thank Chairman Cole for his leadership and Ranking Member Espaillat and our subcommittee members and their staff and our staff and their work. And I urge my colleagues to vote yes. I yield back.
The gentleman from West Virginia yields back. The gentleman from Oklahoma reserves. The gentlelady from Connecticut is recognized.
Speaker, I yield 1 minute to the gentlewoman from Ohio, the distinguished ranking member of the Energy and Water Subcommittee, Ms.
This lady with his purple hair is killing me, man.
Recognized for 1 minute.
I thank the ranking member for yielding, Congresswoman DeLauro. Congress today should vote for affordable health insurance for Americans and reduce its rising costs. Instead, in the dead of night, 8 Senate Republicans slipped into this bill a payola for themselves.
Them motherfuckers trying to get paid.
Millions of dollars to themselves. This payola is called corruption. Corruption. Millions of taxpayer dollars now are slated for Senators Graham, Haggerty, Hawley, Sullivan, Tuberville, Johnson, Loomis, and Blackburn. Each is teed up to personally rake in a minimum of $500,000 up to $1.5 million. Meanwhile, the American people need more affordable health insurance. But
See the shit that Republicans be on. This is what I mean when I say we can't just say, "Oh, all of them is full of shit." We ain't got Democrats trying to slide shit into bills and legislation that's gonna personally line their pockets with between $500,000 and $1.5 million because they were investigated for some shit that they did. Like, the shit writes itself, y'all. If anything, all this shit make you realize that a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, that you can say a lot of shit in 2 to 3 minutes. That's crazy. Now I will say Nancy trying to slide that shit, talk about kids can stay on their fucking parents' insurance till they 26, 28, whatever that shit is. Man, sit down somewhere, Nancy. We ain't with all that shit. I can't wait till 18 get here, man. I love my daughter, but god damn. I think about it. That insurance is what saved me in child support.
The last 7 weeks have truly been a disservice to Americans. And my friends across the aisle should never have put leverage or politics over those people that they represent. But the most important thing right now is that we get back to work, making sure that federal government can provide the essential services that people depend on. And that Congress can continue working to pass full-year funding legislation providing responsible federal spending and fund those essential services. Mr. Speaker, we are making significant progress with the inclusion of these 3 appropriation bills, but our work is far from over.
I fuck with Dan Newhouse and how you approaching this.
To support this deal, vote to end this unnecessary shutdown and help us get back to the business of hardworking Americans.
He's an old school Republican.
Thank you, and I yield back.
You could tell in his delivery that his mindset is not like the rest of MAGA. We will do.
Control the entire government. For 42 days, Republicans shut it down. Why? Because they refuse to extend tax credits to help millions of Americans afford their health care. And if that wasn't bad enough, President Trump even withheld food assistance during the shutdown. Hunger should never be used as a weapon.
C-SPAN will give you the real uncut. But like I said before, this is the reason why a lot of people tune out from politics. A 30-second clip that pulls on your emotions and gets you a bit of information is a lot more in line with the American attention span than to hear an hour worth of 2 and 3 minute pitches by either party. The funny part is I keep looking at the analytics for the stream. Started the stream, we were real high. Now we're middle of the road right now. Because more people keep tuning in to that, but more people realize that this is all we looking at, really, isn't it? You not crashing out? I done got a couple text messages. Man, you ain't saying no crazy shit. Cause we watch TV, dog. We watch TV. It is 7:22. What else you got to do? And I'm 41. My generation is the generation that needs to be tuned into this shit, because this is the type of stuff that impacts our life. We are the ones that feel the impact of this shit. We are the ones going to work. I don't know how many friends of mine have missed paychecks because of this federal shutdown. Like, I've lost count. I got a whole bunch of friends that have missed paychecks. And I got a whole bunch of friends that look at this type of shit like, oh man, that shit don't impact me. And all I can think in my mind, I'm like I can count on all my fingers and hands a bunch of people I know that ain't got paychecks. While man, this shit has a, even if it doesn't have a direct impact, it has an indirect impact. A lot of it does. Mark L. Ford just showed exactly what I pointed out earlier when Newhouse was speaking. Newhouse played a middle of the road approach. He didn't try and use any of the exciting language, calling it a Schumer or Democrat-led shutdown. He basically kept it in the middle of the road, like, hey, we need to get back to work. This shutdown should never happen, and we need to get back to work. This, what we got in front of you may not be the best thing to move forward, but hey, it's a framework to move forward, and we need to get back to work to help the American people. And that's why I say about the difference between old school Republicans and this MAGA stuff that we're seeing, man. And nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about the fact that everybody that tried to kill Trump was Republican. The motherfucker that shot Charlie Kirk was Republican. Like, there's something going on over there. There's something going on over there. I don't know what's going on, but something going on over there.
Food assistance right before Thanksgiving and letting Trump spend his holidays pardoning insurrectionists, enriching billionaires, cozying up to dictators, and building himself.
Don't worry, y'all. They're going to get to the vote eventually. Just hold on. Stay strong with me. Stay strong. They're going to get to the vote eventually. So just stay strong. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Members are advised to direct their comments to the chair and not to engage in personalities toward the president.
Man said, don't engage in personalities toward the president.
Texas and chairman of the House Budget Committee, Mr. Arrington.
The gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, the Democrats rejecting a clean CR, shutting the government down, creating all of the havoc, the pain and suffering for our fellow Americans is so obviously disingenuous. They never never. For 4 years under Biden, you all didn't reject one clean CR. Chuck Schumer in 44 years never rejected a clean CR. So, Mr. Speaker,
when they say clean CR, I understand that that's just a phrase, some wording. Doesn't actually infer that it's actually clean.
They put forward a spending bill of $1.5 trillion. That's twice the discretionary budget. Mr. Chairman, they'd be spending more money than we've ever spent outside of COVID. That's their counter proposal. It's not only disingenuous, it's unserious. So what's it about? It's about politics. It's about
emotions. It's about emotions. Emotions make you cry sometime.
They're undermining the will of the American people. The presidency.
Gentleman, additional 15 seconds.
Gentleman's recognized.
They undermined the will of the people who overwhelmingly elected President Trump and gave him the mandate of the America First agenda. So
oh God. See that MAGA shit? The overwhelmingly voted. Like, America overwhelmingly didn't vote. So I can't say he overwhelmingly won when over half of America didn't vote. Like, that was the most shocking part. Well, they break these minute and 2 minutes down. They got 30 minutes total each side. And what they doing is they're giving each person within the Republican and Democratic Party that they think can pull some votes or some emotions or something out of some people a minute or two to go up there and speak their piece. And then we're going to see the vote. So Let's see Frank Pallone's pitch. Knows a guy from Jersey, yeah?
The number of insured Americans was at a record high of about 95%. Democrats worked for that. Then Trump comes in, Republicans comes in with
The funniest shit is everybody gets up here and reads from a piece of paper. Everybody gets up here and reads from a paper. Like I say, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be up here and read from a piece of paper. Occasionally, you got somebody that just come out there and they just come, talk that shit. But most of them is read from a piece of paper. This old ass can barely walk, man. See, I continue to say I don't know why every year since my childhood I keep hearing black men complain about white old ass men running this country, but you never see any like what the fuck. This motherfucker's from Guam. Guam, y'all. Bitch, you from Guam. You suffering already.
Funding for those who need it is in place and turns the lights back on. This bill ensures that families receive the assistance they need. Veterans have access to care, and our island is reimbursed for the sacrifice we made to keep federal programs running during this difficult time. I urge my colleagues to support this bill and to deliver for American people. The time for deliberation is when the government is open and people have the assistance they need. I reserve.
Motherfucker from Guam trying to tell us about mainland issues. Like, Guam been fucked up since the wars, man. Like, y'all got a lot more shit to deal with than worry about some snap. I mean, why snap can be really... That might be a good example, too, to talk about. This motherfucker, the representative from Guam is a Republican, but the majority of his island is going to be relying on social services like these that are being discussed and be cut. You get what I'm saying? Like, how fucking... They get mad when I say retarded. So how fucking crazy is that? Like, I always thought voting against your interests was wild as fuck, but you keep seeing people do it over and over and over again. I understand that when it comes to politics, you got to be able to engage with individuals of all parties, but the shit that these people be voting for, like the shit that you see get put forward, and then the people that vote for it, you be like, "Wait, you benefit from that? Why are you voting to cut that? Cut that." I just be shocked. Like I keep remember, like, the voters of Broward County voted to increase their fucking taxes, and I was like, "The fuck." I'll never forget that shit. I was like, y'all, like, make it make sense, bitch. More emotions, baby.
However, is their consistent criticism of the healthcare system known as Obamacare that they created. That's what this fight seems to be about. And that's the one end of things that is truthful. Today,
Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
6 weeks of no pain, lots of pain, no gain.
You said it right. 6 months, 6 weeks of no pain. That's how they view it. Trump even said, "You guys can afford it." Shit got me shocked. Like, the president has no compassion. And y'all want me to feel bad for saying certain things online. Man, y'all can kiss my... But I ain't trying to stop, like, cut down on my cussing, real talk. I realized that I don't gotta cuss all the time. I hear y'all.
Yesterday was Veterans Day. Veterans didn't fight for the red. They didn't fight for the blue. They fought for the red, white, and blue. Maybe tonight we can follow their example. I yield back.
He don't even believe his own statements. He's slipping and fumbling all over his fucking words.
The gentleman is recognized.
1
Thank you,
minute.
Mr. Speaker. This bill fails to address the fundamental needs of families across our country.
Oh, we got Bernie.
Have made it crystal clear that affordability is their number one concern. President Trump and Republicans promised to lower costs on day one, and that's been one big broken promise. Healthcare premiums are skyrocketing because Republicans refuse to extend the ACA tax credits, causing healthcare costs to go up for everyone.
Y'all know that we've been watching this stream. We've been on stream for an hour and 45 minutes. Not one time have we seen a commentator from C-SPAN get on here and say jack shit. This is why I like to watch C-SPAN for matters of like this. I'm not saying Fox News and CNN and MSNBC and C-SPAN, CNBC and the other ones are not good sources to watch, but what you got to understand when watching those type of sources, all of them got a fucking spin to them. All of them got a particular spin to them. Every last one of them. I'm not going to say Republican spin, Democratic spin, left is right spin. All of them got some type of a spin to them. And when you see C-SPAN just put the camera in front of whoever and records and lets you come to your own conclusion about what you're hearing. Not opposed to individuals from those different networks adding their own, 2 cents to the conversation. But when you want to watch proceedings play out, like any type of Senate or congressional any congressional proceedings play out where they're gonna be in chambers, you almost can always catch C-SPAN with that feed going and see this shit live as they're doing it. They're talking about this stuff right now. 7:33 p.m. in Washington, D.C. 7:33 p.m. And they talk about this stuff live. Like I was gonna go live yesterday, y'all, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait till Wednesday. And I can just sit on stream with this.
And this is what we need for this country tonight. So I urge a yes vote, and I yield back. The gentleman yields. The gentleman from Oklahoma reserves. The gentleman from Connecticut is recognized.
Speaker, I yield 1 minute to the gentlewoman from
Now they're getting down to these 1 minute speeches here, so I'm they might be around maybe 10-15 minutes away from the vote. Woo, look at this. She bought graphics.
Will jump from $383 to nearly $1,000. Meanwhile, Trump and Republicans can find money for a fancy ballroom. They can give tax breaks to billionaires. And they even included millions of dollars in cash payouts in this bill for 8 Republican senators. If anyone else in government gave themselves millions in taxpayer money, they would go to prison. But for Americans trying to afford health care, not $1 in tax credits. House Democrats are united against this corrupt bill and will keep fighting to protect America's health care. I urge my colleagues to reject this bill. I yield back.
The gentleman yields. The gentleman from Connecticut reserves. The gentleman from Oklahoma is recognized.
All right, they're getting down to it. They're getting down to it.
Mr. Speaker, it's been an interesting debate.
They're getting down to it. They finna get down to it. They finna get down to it, y'all. Stay strong. Stay strong.
Hasn't had much to do with the legislation in front of us. My friends chose all on their own to shut the government down 43 days ago. During
42.
that time,
According to the clock on the screen.
Paid. The only reason they were paid is the president of the United States managed to pull a rabbit out of the house twice. We have military families completely unpaid. We have our air traffic controllers. Most of us flew here today or yesterday or in recent days. They're keeping the skies as safe as they can, but they haven't gotten paid. We're in this Capitol building. We're under the protection of the Capitol Police. They do a splendid job. They keep doing their job.
We won't talk about the Capitol Police, but y'all keep ignoring January 6th. Y'all want to act like January 6th ain't happened. A bunch of Capitol Police are suffering because of January 6th right now.
Legislation tonight. So we can have all these debates about all these other issues. As a matter of fact, my friend, the Speaker, his counterpart in the United States Senate, the Majority Leader, and the President said, when you open the government, we'll be happy to talk to you about some of these issues. But you're not going to shut down the government.
We've heard that before.
People put people's lives at risk and think we're going to sit down and negotiate with you under those circumstances. That is not going to happen.
You did.
We told you 40
They did.
days ago, from bitter experience, government shutdowns don't work. They never achieve the objective that you announced. And guess what? You haven't achieved that objective yet, and you're not going to. We did the same thing twice, so I'm not saying that we've got clean hands over here.
See what I told y'all? He just admitted it. The tactics that we've seen Republicans traditionally do as reckless and crazy, we're starting to see from the Democrats. People say, hey man, the Democrats need to fight. The Democrats need to. What y'all really saying is y'all want to see the Democrats act like Republicans. When they start acting like Republicans, shit gonna be fucked up. I'm just telling y'all right now. When we start to see Democrats act as reckless as Republicans, shit is gonna be fucked up. Because right now, people will look at the reckless shit from Republicans and be like Charlemagne the God, like he said, oh, well, we just gotta count on the Democrats to do the good right thing because we know the Republicans ain't. Well, if you count on the Democrats to do the right thing, what the fuck are you gonna be counting on when the Democrats start acting as reckless as the Republicans? Because you already turning a blind eye to the Republicans' reckless behavior. And as Tom Kohler said a few moments ago, they shut the government down twice, and it didn't work out for them. Democrats just shut it down. So when y'all see Democrats start acting as reckless as Republicans, don't start crying. This is what America's been asking for. I don't think America realized what they've been asking for, but this type of shit right here is what America's been asking for. Every time if you've ever called Democrats soft or weak, they need to start pushing back. They need to do. This is what pushing back look like, unfortunately. And when you got no real majority, you're the minority, you have to rely on leverage. It's quite frankly their only move at this point. And come January 31st, or February 1st, we're gonna see the government shut down again. The only difference is that they've managed to negotiate to cover what I view as the points that made them kind of uneasy with the shutdown. And as harsh as this is gonna sound, I don't think them having to deal with federal employees not getting a paycheck is something that was a deal breaker for them. The snap put pressure on them. The motherfucking kids, the old folks not being able to eat. That's where the pressure came from. And SNAP got funded. Well, all the fucking social services programs gonna have funding through September 2026. So on February 1st, get ready to see some shit. They should be getting ready to do this vote soon, y'all. So just hold on now, y'all. For those that have stayed on stream this long, thank you. I appreciate you. Shout out to the Twitch community. Y'all always show out. Like I did my last stream, I took Twitch off the stream. Worst stream ever, y'all. Worst stream analytically ever. I'm not saying I do 100,000 fucking participants, shit like that. But boy, when I tell you, when I looked at the analytics from last stream, because I was just testing out, like, you know what? Let me take Twitch off and put YouTube on. I got a pretty nice YouTube following. Excuse me, not YouTube. Let me take Twitch off and put Instagram on and do live on Instagram because I got a pretty large Instagram following. Worst fucking stream analytically ever. Twitch, y'all be showing out for your boy, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the YNs, the emo kids, the gamers, the whatever else, whoever else be on Twitch. Y'all tune in to OG whatever y'all want to call me. y'all be fucking with OG, and I appreciate that. So, in other words, I will never take Twitch off stream ever again. That was a humongous fucking mistake. Worst fucking analytics ever. and Twitch, I don't know how y'all be coming up on y'all feed, but I appreciate it. I might be the only nigga talking politics like this, but no, I actually no. Because as my boy Phil said earlier, you know, the shout out to the hip hop lobbyists. He's a lot more clean on the stream than I am. Because I be cussing this shit.
It's not fake news. It's not a perception issue. It is daily life for the people that we all represent. So let's do something about it. Let's reject this budget. Let's stop the healthcare cuts.
742 on the Capitol, y'all. They started this process about, I think, 5:30. We've been on stream for about 2 hours now of it.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I reserve. Gentleman reserves. The gentleman from Connecticut is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, this bill fails to prevent healthcare costs from skyrocketing. It fails to address the crisis of affordability. It fails to keep our
She reading fast as fuck, boy. She knows she down to the limit. They only give them 30 minutes each side.
I encourage my colleagues to vote no, and I have the honor of yielding 1 minute to the gentleman from New York, our distinguished Democratic leader, Mr. Hakeem Jeffries.
Hakeem!
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the distinguished gentlelady, the top Democrat on the House Appropriations Committee, for yielding and for her steadfast leadership on behalf of working families, hard-working American.
Man, this man just wasted about 20 seconds on a goddamn intro. And you only got a minute.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today in strong opposition to this woefully inadequate spending bill that fails to decisively address the Republican healthcare crisis and fails to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits for tens of millions of Americans. Mr. Speaker, before I say anything further, let me say to our men and women in uniform, to our active duty troops, to our hardworking federal employees, to our civil servants.
This motherfucker said a campaign speech. You supposed to be trying to sway one side or the other, dog.
In the House of Representatives, to our air traffic controllers.
This is Hakeem Jeffries' fuck up part.
Thank you for the work that you do on behalf of the American people.
I like him,
and it's our promise,
but he does too much of this shit here, man. Get to the fucking point.
That we will continue to work hard to make sure that you are treated with the dignity and respect that you deserve. In a year in which the Trump administration has gone after hardworking federal employees relentlessly, including firing more than 200,000 federal employees prior to the start of the Trump Republican shutdown. Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. Donald Trump and Republicans made the decision to shut the government down, the longest shutdown in American history. Would rather do that than provide health care that's affordable to working class Americans, middle class Americans, and hardworking American taxpayers. All across the country, I'm certain that there are people in America asking the question, where do we go from here? House Democrats have a simple answer. We will continue to fight to lower the high cost of living. House Democrats will continue to fight to address the healthcare crisis that Republicans have created. And House Democrats will continue to fight to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits
Ah,
for
excuse
tens
me.
of millions of Americans.
I
This
get up
fight is
5:30 in
not
the morning,
over.
y'all.
We're just getting started.
It's getting in my time.
We'll fight today. We'll fight tomorrow.
10
We'll fight
o'clock,
this
I'll be in
week.
bed.
We'll fight
Out.
next week. We'll fight this month. We'll fight next month. We'll fight until we win this battle for the American people. That's our commitment as House Democrats. And there's only two ways that this fight will end. Only two ways, Mr. Speaker, that this fight.
They gave my boy longer than a minute.
Either Republicans finally decide to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits this year, or the American people will throw Republicans out of their jobs next year and end the speakership of Donald J. Trump once and for all. That's how this fight ends. Mr. Speaker, during this painful Trump Republican shutdown, what we've seen is two different philosophies in terms of how to govern for the American people. The Democratic Party philosophy is clear. We are ready, willing, and able to find bipartisan common ground anytime, any place, to enact spending agreements that actually make life better for the American people. But in order to do that, we need to have partners on the other side of the aisle who are actually willing to find a bipartisan.
There's no way I edit this stream to make clips tonight.
The very beginning of this presidency is a my way or the highway approach. That's been the Republican philosophy. Jam your extremism down the throats of the American people. That's what we've seen from day one of this presidency. That's the reason why the government has been shut down by Republicans and Donald Trump for the longest period of time in American history. What have we seen from Donald Trump and Republicans during this shutdown? A consistent unwillingness to actually find common ground in order to make life better for the American people. Donald Trump, during
This motherfucker
shutdown,
preaching.
found the time to play golf week after week after week. Donald Trump found the time to pardon serial fraudsters like George Santos and Rudolph Giuliani. Donald Trump found the time to
He
meet
did
with
that.
the Chinese Communist Party. Donald Trump found the time to destroy the East Wing of the White House. Donald Trump found the time to extort $230 million from the Department of Justice so he could line his pockets. Donald Trump found the time to bail out Argentina with $40 billion. Donald Trump found the time to rip away SNAP benefits from 42 million Americans. Mr. Speaker, these extremists
That boy
are
preaching.
not like us.
Ooh, that boy preaching.
They have zero interest in fighting hard to make life better for the American people. Their philosophy, my way or the highway, our response.
He juiced up now. He charged up. Look at his body language. Look at his body language.
In the midst of a healthcare crisis and a cost of living crisis.
I thought she tried to touch his butt.
Donald Trump, the leader of the Republican Party, has to say. He claims there is no affordability crisis in the United States of America. But why would anyone believe anything that Donald Trump or Republicans have to say on this issue? Because throughout 2024, before the election, Republicans in the House and in the Senate and Donald Trump on the campaign trail spent all of their time saying that costs were going to go down on day one.
Yeah, they did.
But costs haven't gone down.
No, they haven't.
Republicans haven't done a damn thing to lower the high cost of living.
No, they didn't.
Costs haven't gone down in this country. Costs have gone up. Inflation is on the way up. Housing costs out of control. Grocery costs out of control. Electricity bills out of control. Healthcare costs skyrocketing out of control. And in the midst of this affordability crisis, seeing this, Democrats said we've got to fight to make sure that we extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits. So
Fight the power!
of people, working class folks, middle class folks, people in rural America, working class America, small town America.
That boy preaching.
Black and brown communities all throughout America don't experience premium increases that in some cases will go up by $1,000 or $2,000 per year. In many cases, month after month after month, $1,000 or $2,000 per month, tens of thousands of dollars per year. Unacceptable in this country, the wealthiest country in the history of the world. And this is in the midst of a Republican healthcare crisis. Republicans enacted the largest cut to Medicaid in American history, ripped health insurance away from 14 million Americans. As a result of Republican policies, hospitals, nursing homes, and community-based health centers are closing all across America.
How long are they gonna let this nigga talk?
Of this great country of ours. And now, because of Republican refusal to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits, tens of millions of Americans are at risk of being unable to afford to go see a doctor when they need one. In this country, the wealthiest country in the history of the world, it can't be the case that healthcare is simply a privilege for the wealthy, the well-off, and the well-connected. Mr. Speaker, that's the Republican perspective. We believe as Democrats that healthcare has to be a right, and a right that's affordable and available to every single American in the United States.
I legit know some hood niggas that make a lot of money and ain't got not nail bit of insurance.
And that's what the fight will continue to be about as we move forward. Many of my Republican colleagues have suggested that they want to deal with the healthcare affordability issue. That they
We tired too, man. You see that motherfucker back there? Yeah, we tired too.
Shit. Well, we have an opportunity for you to do so. There's a discharge petition connected to legislation that House Democrats have introduced to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits for 3 years, because we believe that working class Americans, middle class Americans, and everyday Americans deserve the same level of certainty that Republicans always provide to the wealthy, the well-off, and their well-connected donors. Working class Americans deserve that level of certainty. So join us in extending the Affordable Care Act tax credits. It's not too late. We're in the midst of open enrollment, but the tax credits expire on December 31st. And we will stay on this issue until we get this issue resolved for everyday Americans. Mr. Speaker, as I close, I've had the opportunity, as many of us do, to serve in the United States Congress with legendary figures, too numerous to mention. Legendary members, of course, Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi, Steny Hoyer, the great Jim Clyburn, Maxine Waters, Elijah Cummings, Charlie Rangel.
This nigga almost forget Maxine Waters' last name.
Captor, the longest serving woman in the history of the United States House of Representatives. We've all had the opportunity to serve with legendary members, John Dingell, too numerous to mention. But one can't call that role
Wrap this shit up, Akeem.
without calling the name of the great John Lewis. I had the distinct honor
Land the
of serving
plane,
with John
land the
Lewis
plane.
for several terms. Many of us here in the House of Representatives did. I'll never forget, on my first day in the Congress, I had the opportunity to meet John Lewis for the first time in person. And he called me over to see him on the House floor, and he just asked me a simple question. He said, "Are you the new guy?" And I said, "Yes, sir, Mr. Lewis, I am." And he said, "Well, we're colleagues now. You don't have to call me Mr. Lewis. You can call me John." I said, "Yes, sir, Mr. Lewis, I understand." And then he said, "Today's you're from Brooklyn, right?"
Land the plane, Akeem.
He said, "Brooklyn is always in the house. But instead," says, because my mother raised me with some sense, Leader Jeffries. I said, yes, sir, I'm from Brooklyn. And then he said something to me that I've never forgotten. He said, well, I hear some positive things about you from your predecessor, but Washington, D.C., young man, can be a rough place. So I don't want you to get into any trouble unless it's good trouble. And I just wanted to
Good trouble, y'all.
House floor to make sure it was clear to the American people that the spirit of John Lewis lives amongst House Democrats, and we will continue to get into good trouble to make their life better. That's our commitment to every single
Land the plane, Hakeem.
all across this country from this day and for every day moving forward. And it was John Lewis who said to us that ours is not the struggle of one day, 1 week, or 1 year. Ours is the struggle of a lifetime, and maybe even many lifetimes. And each one of us in every generation must do our part. Mr. Lewis, we love you. We were blessed by our opportunity to serve with you, and House Democrats are here to do our part. We're in this fight until we win this fight for the American people. I yield back.
The gentleman yields. Members are reminded to refrain from engaging in personalities towards the president. The gentlewoman from Connecticut has 30 seconds remaining and is recognized.
I yield back the balance of my time.
The gentleman from Connecticut yields. The gentleman from Oklahoma is recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. It's my distinct pleasure to yield the balance of our time to the distinguished Speaker of the House, my very good friend and a person I admire greatly. I'm actually just going to hold you to 1 minute, Mr. Speaker. My good friend, the gentleman from Louisiana, Speaker Mike Johnson.
The gentleman from Louisiana is recognized.
I want to thank my friend Chairman Cole's done an extraordinary job in this process. And Mr. Speaker, we all know why we're here. House Democrats voted to shut the government down. It was 54 days ago when we had that vote, September 19th. And since that time, Senate Democrats have voted 14 times to close the government. Republicans voted a collective 15 times to open the government for the people, and the Democrats voted that many times to close it. And then they admitted, many of them, and we could name them here, but I'm not going to take the time. They admitted that they were using the American people as leverage in this political game. They knew that it would cause pain, and they did it anyway. The whole exercise was pointless. It was wrong, and it was cruel. In mere moments, I want you to watch the board. They're going to do it again.
His district use a whole lot of social services. He represents Louisiana. This guy represents Louisiana. They got hella country folks and hella black folks that rely on social services. But think about it.
While the Democrats keep voting to shut the government down, Republicans are going to vote to open it back up. And with that, we're going to get the American government running again and working for the people as they deserve. I'm going to close with this. You know, as Speaker, you have the ability to talk as long as you want, but I'm not going to do that tonight. We're not going to waste any more time of the people. I'm just going to say this. I think that everybody needs to remember this one simple thing. From the very beginning of this whole ordeal, on the Republican side, we operated in good faith. We offered a clean, nonpartisan CR. We were honest and transparent with the American people from the very beginning, and every single day of the shutdown, we went out and looked right into the camera with a press conference and told the American people the simple truth. We have done for the people what has been right and just and truthful. And in the end, that is what God honors always. Don't forget it.
Don't bring God into this, you piece of
We
shit.
need to get this government open as soon as possible, and I'm going to yield back the remainder of my time so we can do that. The American people demand it and deserve it. My friends, let's get this done. Thank you. I yield back.
You see people abdicate their responsibilities and then grandstand. it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Ugh. All right, so they're finna get turned to the vote, y'all.
The gentleman from Oklahoma has 3 minutes remaining and is recognized.
I yield back the balance of my time.
The gentleman yields. All time for debate has expired. Pursuant to House Resolution 873, the previous question is ordered. The question is on the motion by the gentleman from Oklahoma, Mr. Cole. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. In the opinion of the chairs, the ayes have it. For what purpose does the gentleman from Connecticut
Mr.
stand?
Speaker, I request the yeas and nays.
The yeas and nays are requested. Those favoring a vote by the yeas and nays will rise. A sufficient number having risen, the yeas and nays are ordered. Members will record their votes by electronic device. This is a 15-minute vote.
So now the vote to reopen the government commences. They're gonna put the shit on the screen, and we'll see what's gonna happen. Full disclosure, I really do think that they're gonna vote. They're gonna get this vote to reopen the government. I don't think this is gonna be a situation where I think you're gonna have a problem with that.
Democrats broke with the party to support the bill. If passed by the House and Senate,
It's
the bill would fund the government through January 30th next year.
already 59 to 51 yes to no to reopen the government. So
The FDA, military construction projects, and the operations of Congress through September 30th. Federal employees laid off during the shutdown will also be rehired, and both essential and furloughed federal workers would receive back pay dating to October 1st, the day of the shutdown began. A vote was also guaranteed to be held by mid-December on a bill to extend the expiring Affordable Care Act tax credits.
We got a promise of a vote by mid-December. So it's mid-October now. So we got about 30 days. And if they don't vote to extend them tax credits, February 1st, we're gonna see the government shut down. But because of this resolution right here, we most likely will not see them give a fuck about it because they've shored up a lot of things that made them cave on this one. They got Social Services shored up until September 2026, and they got motherfuckers rehired that got fired. So that was big. I think that was two of the things that really impacted the Democratic Party, and had those 7 Democrats and that 1 Republican cave. But excuse me, come February 1st, that ain't gonna be an issue because of this resolution here. So on February 1st, if the Republicans keep trying to play that bait and switch role, we'll see the damn government shut down.
We brought it up on unanimous consent, and that would get it through the process immediately. There would normally be a waiting period of 7 legislative days before members could use it.
Excuse me. All right. We got 98 nays and 94 yeas. The nays are winning. We got 12 minutes left on the vote tally. (102 to 96). The nays have it right now.
Fund the federal government through January 30th to end this shutdown. Also, along with the Epstein Files discharge petition, a second discharge petition was submitted today by House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries to force a vote on keeping the COVID-era healthcare subsidies that were set to expire at the end of the year.
That Epstein, this is going to be some hot shit in the next couple weeks, y'all.
Senate Democrats
understand
to move forward with government funding without extending those subsidies.
Yeah, that Epstein, this is going to cause some strife. So A lot of people been trying to keep that motherfucker buried. In the next couple of weeks, you're gonna hear a lot more about Epstein. If y'all thought the motherfucking emails or something, just wait until they start having votes on documents. The government getting ready to have a paperwork party with Epstein shit. All right, you got 116 days to 108 days with 10 minutes left on the vote tally. And as you can see on the screen, it ain't as much moving and shaking and little chit chats going on right now. It's just, pleasantries and motherfuckers like, man, I'm just get the fuck out of here. I'm tired. I got a flight to catch. Wife is da-da-da-da, my husband da-da-da-da. Like, motherfuckers just trying to get up out of there now. They've been in that room pretty much the majority of the fucking day, y'all. For since early in the day. They've been in that building since early in the day. If you think working an 8-hour shift is something, try being a politician and being in the fucking Capitol building all goddamn day.
After nearly 43 days, the Senate passed the government funding bill 60-40 on Monday.
And half your day is being spent talking to some motherfuckers you rather not talk to.
Also on Capitol Hill, as part of the Senate bill to reopen the government, a provision was agreed to allow senators whose phones had been searched by Justice Department officials in relation to the January 6th investigation to sue the government. Tennessee Republican John Rose objected and posted this earlier today. I just introduced a bill to repeal the Senate's last-minute provision.
They got their first Democrat that voted to reopen the government, y'all. I told you, I don't think they got a problem. So we got 126 Republicans and one Democrat that voted to reopen this shit.
Saying House Republicans are introducing standalone legislation to repeal.
They got one. They got one.
In the government funding bill. We're putting
they got one. So far, they got one. They got one Democrat to vote with them to reopen the government, y'all. 131 Democrats voted no. One voted yes. We're going to have to wait to see which Democrat voted to reopen the government with them. But as of right now, we got 133 yeses. Oh, and 134 no's. The no's of ticket. No's is down, but they back up. They back up. They are up. Excuse me. Ugh. But it's a whole lot more votes to go, y'all. We got 7 more minutes. Well, officially 7 minutes, but they're gonna let the clock run until all the votes are cast. They're not gonna try and cut that shit out. But oh man, y'all got 7 minutes, so y'all ain't voting, y'all don't vote. They're gonna wait until all the votes are cast. We got 139 yeses, 140 yeses, and 136 no's. I told you, I really don't think we're about to see government reopen right now. But February 1st, if they try and pull that bait and switch, we're going to see the Democrats start to use a lot more Republican tactics.
We're going to be taking your calls and discussing the political impact of the shutdown with the co-founder and president of Real Clear.
This is all you're going to hear from C-SPAN.
From Maryland Democratic Congressman Johnny Olszewski. We'll discuss the vote to reopen the government and all that starting at 7 a.m. Eastern Time on Washington Journal.
So they basically say, hey, at 7 a.m. we're going to get started. We're going to put a camera in front of a politician's face at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning and start this shit off. And they're going to start talking about this right here. So they're not going to try and give you no recap. C-SPAN's not going to try and give you no recap, no analysis, none of that shit. They are going to put the camera in the room or in front of the politician's face and let you decide what you hear. That's why I like C-SPAN a lot. I work from home, so throughout the day, yeah, this TV be on C-SPAN damn near the whole day, y'all. Cause I've been here working, but I put C-SPAN on and just let that shit rock. Occasionally look up, see what they talk about, see who talking about what. Cycle through C-SPAN 1, 2, and 3, maybe BBC, Al Jazeera. I rarely cycle through the U.S. News cycle throughout the day. Until it's come time for me to watch my local news, early in the morning, late in the evenings, 5:30, 6 o'clock. I watch the 5 o'clock local news, but CNN, Fox, and all them, I really don't give them too much play. I'll watch C-SPAN all fucking day though. Well, I'll have it on. Let me put it like that. Shout out to Mr. Lamarca. My high school, my 12th grade American government teacher used to do the same thing. That's actually how we seen 9/11. I saw 9/11 happen live on fucking CNBC, on C-SPAN. We seen 9/11 happen live on C-SPAN in Mr. Lamarca's American government class in my senior year of high school. All because Mr. Lamarca understood that, hey, he teaches American government class, so he put C-SPAN on the whole day. I think part of it was for him to watch and see what's going on, but a part of it was for us to be seeing what's going on in politics in real time as we're learning about politics in real time. But that day, that 9/11, that shit was wild. And it was like, he said, like, we sat there watching it, and he was talking about something, and we sitting there watching it, and we just seen one. We didn't see the first building get hit. We seen the second building get hit. C-SPAN cut to the first building being on fire, and he was saying something, and we was like, Mr. Lamarca, the dang building's on fire. He was like, what's going on? And then as we all sitting there looking, and C-SPAN just playing the building on fire, the second plane hit. And Mr. Lamarca didn't even miss a beat. He was like, dang, I think we're under attack, y'all. And then he turned the TV off. Because he already knew. He was a grown-ass man. He already knew. He was like, hey, whatever's going to happen, I know I've already exposed them to something that's going to be impactful to them for the rest of their life. But if something else happened, I don't want them to see it. And then he turned the TV back on. Like, he legit sat at his desk. I think that was the thoughts he had. Then he turned the TV back on. And then, like, we sat and watched C-SPAN. And then that's when we found out about the fucking Pentagon shit. We sat there, and then the news, like, we legit sat in Mr. Lamarca class for probably about 30 minutes watching the news. And then it overcame the announcement came over the loudspeaker for the whole school, about 9/11 happening and this, that, and other. But Mr. Lamarca's American government class, we was locked in. The only time we tuned out was when he had that little moment, like, I don't think I should be showing them this shit. But then he turned the TV back on, like, you know what? This is American government. This is happening, and they need to know. They need to understand. They need to see it. So shout out to Mr. Lamarca for planting that C-SPAN seed in my head. All right. Oh, shit. While I'm telling my story about Mr. Lamarca, we got 2 Democrats that have voted to reopen the government. Of course, we don't know which Democrats have voted to reopen the government as of right now live. But by the time I make a clip of this to put on the internet, I'll be able to tell y'all and put a little picture and overlay of who, which Democrats voted yes. Excuse me. All right, so with 1 minute and 38 seconds left in the vote tally, we got 196 yeses, 191 noes, and about 40 votes left. We got about 41 votes left, excuse me, and 3 Democrats have voted to reopen the government, to side with 197 Republicans. But just sitting there waiting for that shit to go down. Not just bullshit. He's a stenographer, whatever. The court recorder. You know, he records all the shit. When officials are talking, he's typing. All right, so we got 201 to 199. Yays and nays. We got one Republican that has voted to not reopen the government. That's interesting. I pretty much figured we was going to see a party line vote with a couple of Democrats sign over there. But that one Republican, no. I'm going to have to see who said no. Because that's a shocker to me. I'm not shocked about the Democrats voting with the Republicans to reopen the government. But the Republican that voted no. I'm shocked at that. Speaker Mike Johnson is going to have a talk with that person. He's not going to be happy with that. I'm pretty sure Speaker Mike Johnson was expecting a party line vote. All the Republicans voting to reopen the government. Because that's all they said in all their speech. They were like, we're going to reopen this government. All the Republicans, we vote to, we vote to reopen the government for the American people. And they got one standout. All right, so we got 211 yays to 205 no's with 17 votes left. Okay, so they say President Trump to sign bill reopening government live 9:45 p.m. tonight. Am I going to stay on stream that damn long to watch Trump? Leave it in the chat if y'all want to stay on stream to watch Trump to sign the bill or not. If y'all say y'all want to stay on stream that damn long, we stay on stream that long. But if not, let me run this back. Because I just had a live thought. I don't know if I want to stay on stream that long to watch Trump sign this. If y'all say y'all do. But in my opinion, it's probably gonna be.
Woke up one morning and heard this weird ass motherfucker talking out the side of his neck. Me and all my peoples.
YG career went down the drain after he dropped this album.
Influential motherfucker when it came to the business. Like you, all the niggas in the hood.
Fuck Donald Trump.
We the youth. We the people of this country. We got a voice too.
Let me stop. They gonna cut that out my stream and all. Let me stop that shit. They be tripping, especially YouTube. They be fucking.
Voting against the funding. Thomas Massey on
Two.
The voting board here. Off the floor, news outlets reporting for months about the use of a so-called discharge petition to force the House Speaker to bring up legislation to release the Epstein files.
So Thomas Massey
Was sponsored by Kentucky's Thomas Massey here on the floor, about to have enough votes in order to say that they have enough to pass the government funding measure. This
they got enough.
Voting through.
They got 6 Democrats on their side.
And to end the federal
but they're saying Thomas Massey is one of the Republicans that voted no to not reopen the government. They got 2 total Republicans that didn't vote to reopen the government. And 6 Democrats sided with them to reopen the government. They just said something. Half the motherfuckers that shouted, no! Y'all be thinking that these chambers be like full of fucking motherfuckers just being very upstanding. It be some shit going down. They be cussing and fussing at people. They might not get too wild, being that bitch throwing chairs and shit, but they get no. But I said we'll see who who these 6 Democrats are that voted to reopen the government and who these 2 Republicans voted that voted not to reopen the government are.
The White House saying President Trump will sign the measure in the Oval Office tonight. If the House is gavelled out, we'll bring you live coverage here on C-SPAN.
Yeah, so they're saying Trump is going to go ahead and sign the bill tonight once this is all concluded. C-SPAN is saying 9:45. I don't know about all that.
On this vote, the yeas are 222, the nays are 209. The bill is passed. The motion is adopted. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
They fist bumping and doing their congratulatory shit. But ladies and gentlemen, the government is going to be reopened. I won't say is reopened right now because technically Donald Trump still has to sign this into law. But for all intents and purposes, the government is reopened at 42 days, 21 hours, and 21 minutes. The government has been reopened. So the 2 longest government shutdowns in history were under the Trump administrations.
On behalf of my constituents and the American people. Signed sincerely, Mikey Sherrill, Member of Congress.
Without objection, the resignation is accepted.
Now they're doing some procedural shit before they get the fuck up out of there. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've seen the process that takes place when the government, we just watched the process take place to reopen the government. This is what Congress looks like whenever they're trying to debate an issue. They're going to get into these chambers and they're going to talk basically some shit to each side and have a vote. One way or another, it passes, doesn't passes. But now, only thing that left to happen is Donald Trump to sign this thing into law, and the government will be reopened. Does that mean that everything will immediately go back to normal? For the most part, yes. I could foresee SNAP benefits and any other social service programs that were waiting on funding to get that funding starting tomorrow. Employees, federal employees, most likely, most of them will be called back into service tomorrow. The airport, that's a different situation. What's today? Wednesday. We may start to see relief at the airport starting on maybe about Thursday. Not Thursday, on Friday, Saturday, maybe. Because that involves some logistical stuff. But for the most part, we'll start to see federal government services go back to what they were before the shutdown as of tomorrow. Thursday.
Mr. Speaker, I offer a privileged resolution and ask for its immediate consideration.
The clerk will report the resolution.
All right. What's your resolution?
Resolved that the House has heard with profound sorrow of the death of the Honorable Richard B. Cheney, a former Vice President of the United States of America. Resolved that the clerk communicate these resolutions to the Senate.
Rest in peace, Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney got a body, y'all. He popped the fucking reporter that had said some pretty not nice things about Bush and Cheney before, but they supposedly was on good terms now. But then he popped Buddy on a fucking duck hunt trip. Got off too. it said it was an accident. I think Dick Cheney showed Buddy that he was gangster and like told Buddy, hey man, I appreciate you talking that yin yang. And Buddy was talking that yin yang some more. And told Cheney he wasn't gonna do shit. And Cheney said, what? Boom. All right, so they just said it. I was for the finna said to y'all. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and wrap the stream, y'all. I appreciate y'all tuning in and sitting with me through this journey of watching, you know, the Congress as they reopen the government. It was a long, arduous process. I told y'all multiple times throughout the stream, I believe that this process is why I think a lot of people don't or are hesitant to engage with politics. It's boring. Y'all, some of y'all sat on stream with me for 2.5 hours. And I missed probably about maybe 30, 45 minutes of the proceedings because I was watching my local news while I was eating dinner. And then I thought, like, well, you know, I was gonna go live anyways. Let me get the whole thing. And we've been on stream for just about the entire process, y'all. It wasn't a lot that we missed, but this long and boring process is why individuals don't want to engage with politics. They rather watch a 30-second clip or a minute clip or a couple-minute clip on Instagram or YouTube or whatever of somebody saying some crazy shit that just pulls on their emotions and get them emotionally charged and driven, as opposed to sitting down and listening to motherfucking politicians bore you to death with their speeches and talking about. I mean, I say bore you to death with their speeches, but a lot of what they say, Republicans and Democrats, is tangible stuff. You know, I may not agree with everything that either party said, but I can agree that both parties said some real shit. And this is where you learn. This is how you learn. You sit down and you listen and you engage with what is going on. And then you come to your own conclusions. So once again, I just want to appreciate. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to the Twitch crowd. Shout out to the Twitch community. I fucking love y'all. Had a couple Twitch people that's been on here all stream. Shout out to the repeat viewers. But that's it, y'all. Peace. Love you guys.